Hello everybody to a wonderful educational video about Redstone, more specifically Redstone logic gates. I have exactly one Minecraft day to explain, not all, but as much as possible about this topic. On this journey we will learn so much about things we may or may not care about in a world-famous video game, the one I'm in right now, Minecraft. To be exact, I'm in Minecraft Windows 10 Edition. It is the only true sandbox game available in the world, other than the other versions of Minecraft, of course. Sandbox games are games that allow players to make decisions, rather than the game making decisions for them. Remember this information because you will participate in an optional quiz at the end of this video. Optional, because I am only going to force a select few of you, not all of you. Minecraft was released on May 17th, 2009. The Windows 10 edition was released on the 29th of July, 2015. The full release of the Java edition was on November 18th, 2011. Nice. I don't expect you to remember that, but you can always rewatch if you want to. Now, let's get to the fun stuff. Vámonos! That was farther than I thought it would be. Well, let's look at redstone for once. This is redstone ore, the only ore that cannot be found in the real world. It can be mined at Y coordinates less than 16. Fun fact, it gives a light level of 4 if it is punched, or if you walk on top of it. It will drop 4 to 6 pieces of redstone dust when mined with an iron or diamond pickaxe. This redstone dust is very useful because it can conduct electricity in Minecraft, such as metals do in the real world. The repeater is a component of redstone that can extend a signal and extends the time that the power flows through it. By default, it extends the signal by 1 redstone tick. Redstone ticks are a way of counting time in Minecraft, like seconds. Every time the repeater is left-clicked, the time that power needs to travel through it extends by 1 redstone tick up to a maximum of 4. A comparator is another component of redstone that sends a certain amount of power when certain conditions are true. They can maintain signal strength, compare signal strength, and subtract signal strength, and measure the state of a block. Super complicated, and I'm making a video all about them and their uses, but not right now. This is an observer. It outputs a very quick pulse when the block in front of it changes. This is a redstone torch, and it is constantly on unless the block it is sitting on is powered. This is a redstone lamp, and when it is powered, it lights up. This is useful for redstoners to see if their redstone works without having to break into their projects. Okay, that's cool and all, but now let's get to the real stuff. The logic gates. I need to practice my landing. And now we will look at how these components can be used in logic gates. This is an input-output logic gate. Its output is the same as its input. So if the input is on, then the output is on, and vice versa. This is the most common logic gate. In this logic gate, the output is the opposite of the input. So if the input is on, the output is off, and vice versa. This is a OR gate, and it does not matter what input is on. The output will always be on unless both of the inputs are off. The NOR gate's output is always off unless both inputs are off. This is one of the most useful logic gates out there, and it is used for a variety of things. It is the AND gate, and only when both of its inputs are on, then the output is on. Otherwise, it is off. The next logic gate is a NAND gate, and it works just like the AND gate, except that the output is inverted. So the output will always be on unless both inputs are on, then it is off. Okay, this is the XOR gate. If the inputs are in different states, the input is on. If they are in the same state, then it is off. Actually pretty simple. This is a XNOR gate. It works exactly the opposite of the XOR gate. Only if the inputs are in the same state will the output be on. If they are on and off, it will not output power. Okay, that was the simple stuff. Now comes the more complicated stuff. Haha, you thought I was done with the complicated stuff, huh? This is a NOR latch. If input 1 is off, then output 1 is on. However, input 2 cannot affect any of the other outputs. If input 1 is on, then input 2 can affect output 2. The outputs cannot both be on at the same time. Yeah, complicated, but useful. This simpler version does the same thing, but is made of pistons. The next one is a NAND latch. If input 1 is off, then output 1 is on. However, if input 1 is on, then input 2 cannot affect output 2. The outputs cannot both be off at the same time. I am sure you can use these for something, but I'm going to show you how I use them. Ow, 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 ow. Ow, 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 ow. This is my first dungeon in my main world, and here's the very first use of redstone, in the door. This is my own invention, and it uses a NOT gate to shut the doors unless the pressure plates are powered. You will see many of these doors within this dungeon. This is the floor removed, and we can see the way the doors are locked here, with AND gates. However, they use NAND latches, in this case these pistons here, that do not allow any door to open if more than 2 levers are on. Nice! Most of the rooms here operate the same way, except for the door to the half-boss. This one will only open if you use the half-boss key, because it uses an AND gate to operate. The boss uses simple AND gates and latches to ensure that you can only activate the player launcher if you have the right combination. This is actually a hard boss, but if you want to know the gameplay of this dungeon, look for it on my main playlist. Nyah! Oof! This is my greenhouse, and it is fully automatic, using redstone components to operate. These are relatively simple and are input-output gates. In this farm, the observer block detects if the sugarcane or bamboo has grown, then that input is sent into pistons hidden in the walls as an output, breaking the top 2 blocks of sugarcane or bamboo. The other farms work similarly. This is obviously more complicated and does not work in the Bedrock edition because it is a zero-tick farm, and those are different depending on the game. It is also very loud, and it uses redstone blocks, redstone ore gate, and ore gate. Yes, and it also produces 8 tons of sugar cane in 1 hour. Diabetes. This machine uses a very compact NOR latch to sort non-stackable items from stackable items. This was very useful for me in this world because I could sort fish from mending books. Here we have some rails, and if we press this button, we will get a minecart. However, if we press the button again, it will not give us another minecart because the system has detected that there already is one, and the NAND latch locks it in place so that you can't. It doesn't matter how many times I press this, it won't give me another minecart. And we can now exit. However, once we do release that minecart from its position and press this button, it will allow another minecart to enter. However, the system will then detect that there's another one here and will not allow more to be created. And now I will quiz you to see if you paid attention to anything that I said. Don't worry, only a few of you are forced to participate. You know who you are. It's optional for you other people, but I do recommend it because learning things is really nice in my opinion. Without further ado, let us begin! Question number 1. What is a sandbox game? You have about 5 seconds to answer. It's a game that allows the player to make decisions instead of the game. Second question. What year was the first version of Minecraft released? Ooh, a difficult one, but I'm sure you can remember. It's 2009! Wonderful. Now, a trick question. Can you mine a block of redstone ore with a stone pickaxe? Well, what do you think? The answer is true. You can mine it with a stone pickaxe, but it will only drop redstone dust if you use a diamond or iron pickaxe. Okay, what output do you have in a NOT gate if the input is on? This one might make your brain work harder than usual. I know, but the answer is off. The NOT gate outputs the opposite of the input. Question number 5. If an input in a NOR latch is off, can the other input affect any outputs? This is a yes or no question, people. Not too hard. The answer is no. When an input is off in a NOR latch, this deactivates the ability of the other input to affect its output. That was a tricky one, so let's go with something easier. How much sugarcane does my zero-tick sugarcane farm produce? You may think this is harder, but I think the number 8,000 is very easy to remember. Next question. What needs to happen so that an observer block outputs a redstone signal? This is basic stuff. The answer is that a block in front of it has to change. The inputs of a XNOR gate are both off. What is the output? This might be a tricky one, but if you remember, if both inputs are in the same state in an XNOR gate, the output will always be on. Only if they are in different states will the output be off. Because in my example, they are both off, it will output on. There, that was the last question of my torture quiz. Some of you might have skipped this part or just stopped watching the video, but it doesn't matter because now comes the real finale. Okay, gonna stop talking now. Nova